Hey guys, this is Tigress coming back to you with Overwatch. And first of all, a few couple things. There is a new hero trailer which I will react to, and the video will be out Saturday. Basically, if you didn't see Monday's episode of Monster Hunter, at the minute I'm only doing two parts of Monster Hunter per week, at least until Wilds. I did the exact same near the end of World, and roughly, I'd rather have a couple more videos last a couple more weeks than have one video just randomly pop out that week. It's usually the best thing, and it works out a lot more better. Plus, it means I can overall do a tiny bit more grinding without it being more forced. Now, the new hero trailer I'm not going to react to today. There'll be a video that comes out Saturday that I will react to then. But first, loot boxes. But yeah, guys, this is the last game of the season. There are 6 days left of the season.
Want to know the forecast?
Every time I go to, every time I think I go to automatically open all of them, it's like, no, I just open them. Okay, so a bunch of stuff I've already got them. That's nice to know. For the store, guys, it's the same as it's been last couple of weeks. Basically, Overwatch is one of those games that's like, there's not really much during the last sort of period. Now, mythic side of it, there is Anna's, which I will say I am very much tempted. How much is it? Guys, give me a second. I'm going to double check to see how much Anna's is, because there was at one point where I think it was like 30 something quid on PlayStation. So, guys, it was on PlayStation at least. You can get the skin for around 30 something quid, which is reasonable considering how much you would typically have to. So, but yeah, I personally like owning the mythics. I had a complete score that Anna had a 7,000 War God. Now, I will say now, 2 of the last mythics, and I don't really mind them doing this per se, is I find it more annoying because what they did last season is they give Mercy's upgrade much better one as the first one. What I would rather them turn around and do is if we do still want to give 2 mythics per season, not give people the updation on currents, is do what they've done this season. Honestly, I will overall say this probably does look better in like the black and gold. Is what they did this season was like about to the shop is they give us soldiers, the Voltic Overdrive, and then they give us a new one for Anna as a second one. I much prefer this option than what they did last season, which was giving us Mercies, which was basically just a case of here's another mythic. Now, I might turn around saying the fact of both Mercy and Anna's new mythics are 10 times more better than last ones? Yes. Going to both of them, going over Anna's last one, a 7,000 War God. It was during the point in the season where I don't think it was during that. No, I think her mythic was when they were going more of an Obnic season, which I'm not against it. It just does not suit Anna. Not 100%. And so But Ra 100% does suit Anna. It goes down to a more blessed needs. More of her, more, it feels more like Anna. I'm gonna say this now. Anyone who'd got Vengeance as their mythic, or something similar to what Vengeance was, which was because Vengeance came out which was Mercy's mythic during the Mirror Watch. And guys, if you don't know what Mirror Watch was, the closest thing that I can think of to compare Mirror Watch to is Shattered Glass, which is a universe in Transformers where Decepticons are the good guys and the Autobots are the bad guys. It's basically what if, in Overwatch ways, what if Overwatch were bad? What if Overwatch were the bad guys? What if they were evil? Transformers is what if the Autobots were the bad guys? And what if the Decepticons are actually good? It's a nice concept of good and evil swapping. And again, anyone with Vengeance would have potentially seemed off, but Mercy's does, for the simple reason of, I'm not against them giving a counter skin to a character that doesn't really seem normal. Take Widow, it would have been okay. Same for Sombra, same for Reaper. Although I will say Reaper's is kind of better than what it was. Take May, Junkrat, Winston. Winston would have been a good one for a counter for like a Mirror Watch version. Now, under most circumstances, the only reason I'm not running Mercies now is, even though I so need Celestial Guardian, is I like swap my skins over and so often, and at the minute, I really like Heavenly Hop. I really like the bunny skin for Mercy, plus it's a cute bunny skin. I potentially will end up swapping it back, but there you go. But yeah, they're both improvements over the base, and I don't mind Overwatch in the future carrying on doing this. As long as it is the second one, or as long as they do announce at the beginning and show us both at the beginning. For instance, say if next season, say Sombra gets hers at the beginning. I'm picking Sombra, yeah, Sombra doesn't have one. And then say Sigma then gets a new one. I don't mind them doing it that way, because then it does really mean I can turn around and be like, okay, I have some freedom. Now, do I get the point of them doing 2 mythics per season for the last few seasons of Overwatch being Junkrats and Dooms as well as Life Weavers and Cassidy's? Yeah, I do. It means they can get to the mythics a bit more quicker than what they were. But they weren't giving players any other option to get the currency. Now, if PlayStation continue, or Overwatch and PlayStation are going to continue offering the complete thing for a reasonable price, because guys, that's everything that comes in the skin. I'll even show the store. That's everything apart from those two, which is rare. I don't mind spending, because it was like 35 quid UK pricing, which wasn't too bad, actually very much reasonable. And the reason I say very much reasonable say if I want to unlock level 1, which would be 50, I have no idea whether it's going to show up on stream or not. It does. Which I'd have to spend 30 something quid. I spent a couple additional quid. I spent I think it was probably around the same price. Actually, well, it's... Guys, because I've just double checked my email. I spent the exact same price it would cost me to get 50 to get Anna's full method. I don't mind them doing that, because I do consider the 50 for about 30 quid reasonable. Now, I am going to jump into a quick game of comp. It's not going to be the comp everyone expects. For the very simple reason... Actually, you know what? No. Let's say no. Yeah, now I'm going to jump into a normal game of comp quickly. I'm probably only going to do one. Because quite frankly, I don't want to end up back in bronze. Now, would I be completely fussed if those did get redone next season? You had to redo them from the beginning? No. But the reason I'm only doing one game of comp and hope pin that there's 2 other game modes, a couple of arcade game modes I can do. Comp at the minute is just, I'm just better with it. Especially up through. Also, guys, if you can hear something in the background, it's my fan. Pardon me. It's not particularly warm, but oh great, this map. I don't know why I've been feeling under the weather, and the cold breeze has kind of just been nice at the minute. Are we gonna get a balanced team up? Maybe.
Select heroes to ban.
I don't want to see Life Weaver. I don't want to see Torbjorn. I don't want to see May. And also Zarya. Torbjorn because of its turret. May because of her Ice Wall, and Zarya because she's gonna put... Serena! Okay, Sombra. It is getting annoying with Sombra because I know for a fact Blizzard are gonna look at it and be like, oh, Sombra's getting banned a lot. You know, we need to nerf her. And then she'll continue to get banned, and Blizzard would look at it and be like, oh, okay, she needs to be nerfed again. And again, and I get to the point where some where they're like, hold on, wait a minute. D.Va. Because I will say no, I've barely played D.Va this season. And it will basically just go to the point where Blizzard's like, hold on, wait a minute. Why are we getting taken for mugs? Because basically, because I don't say people are Blizzard are getting taken for mugs by everyone banning Sombra. But what people are doing is, because I know for a fact that Blizzard do this because it's common sense. If they see a hero constantly getting banned, if I was a game developer, it'd be sending one message to me. And that message would be, okay, this hero needs a rework. Then if I constantly see them getting banned, then it still does send the one message that it needs to be reworked again and again and again. Because it's a matter of fuck Zarya. Fuck me voting to ban Zarya in this game. It should have been Torbjorn Zarya, Torbjorn Symmetra, bloody me. I keep forgetting that Mercy skin exists, and it's kind of a cool Mercy skin. Well, the reason I'm streaming it now is because this week, content-wise, yeah, I've got a load of videos I need to record. Like, this Monster Hunter for Thursday I need to record. Because, basically, the behind the scenes, but I tried to record it yesterday. I spent a solid hour. And this is on other points of spending longer than that trying to get into these particular hunts. And the 2 hunts in question were Primordial Malzeno and Nawa the All-Mother. And no, I'm done. It was over an hour. I think it was like closer to an hour and a half. I think it might be closer to 2, because I think it was around like 10:30. I was like, yeah, at this point. Now, I was trying those particular 2 hunts because I want to get into one because I know both have cutscenes, which means both have thumbnail potential. Because I said it before and I'll say it again, cutscenes make really cool thumbnails. They look a lot nicer. Because it's then just the monster itself. And yeah, there's the odd time that the hunters in it, and I have managed to make a few non-cutscene based thumbnails. Like one of the more times recently was Mondays. That was just me getting my ass kicked by Nawa the All-Mother. I got a gut feeling that the only silver player on my team is probably me, and everyone else is probably bronze. And guys, I know it's me probably just being salty. But at the same point, everyone's the breaking point. My breaking point is getting put into games where I should be winning those situations, yet I'm not. Because I don't give a shit what anyone says. There's no way someone goes on a rough estimate of almost 20 games worth of loss and not get a single win in comp throughout any of that point in time. 3 games every Tuesday, plus the odd game on a Sunday. Equals, you know, a lot of losses. And would I be saying the fact of that Overwatch is broken if I was winning? No, because at that point I probably wouldn't give a shit. And it's very much a case of, oh, you only care because you get banned at the game. No, I'm generally saying it because it's a case of, this is not the first time Overwatch's comp system has been broken. Overwatch's comp used to be terrible because it used to be very much like the same thing, and I feel like the same thing's happening again. But because I'm a lot more higher up, I feel like I'm just getting dragged back to bronze. Which isn't fun. Instantly getting struck that, instantly getting bloody max rendered. Which shouldn't be happening.
Guess I left the gate too early.
We're outnumbered.
Like, a lot of people would go for, like,
Next flashpoint. Temple.
the enemy team to act more like a team too. Which is rare. That's because she moved a turret. That's nice to know.
Unlocks in 10 seconds.
But they shouldn't instantly basically be touching point and then nothing happening. Because they're playing point and then keeping point. And that's not how comp works. And if it is seriously how comp is working, then a couple of characters need to be reworked. Such like Torbjorn's auto turret. Same for Symmetra. Also, physically gaming like a lot faster percentage wise. That Dragon Strike felt like, you know, hold on, wait a minute. That Dragon Strike went through half of it, like, almost did. Except a bunch was moved. Okay, a couple of them look like they missed.
I always land on my feet.
But my health still went down. Exactly my point. They're touching point and not even doing anything. Apart from basically able to put up somewhat of a front.
Play of the game.
Nope. And guys, this is why I'm refusing to play comp. I might, actually, I might check the game of Stadium because that's also basically comp. But yeah, guys, they were basically touching point, and no one else was even able to get near it. The first point, yeah, we did touch it a few times. Other than that, no. Plus, the reason I say comp is broken at the minute. Oh. Okay, not surprised Vandalic. Like, there are a few characters in Stadium that I feel like should be,
Now let's dive into the draft.
You know what, play Jungle Queen, because it could be fun. That should kind of be in here, yet they're not. But then there's characters like Vandala. Hello, she got into the game, like, the beginning of the year. Like, she is very much a case of it's been in the game for less than 6 months. And there are characters in this that have been in it, that's been in the game since the beginning. Sombra, Widow. I'm always the last one to pick. But yeah, like, guys, there's no, like, the only time I've ever felt like comp was completely against me, and I was right when saying this, was when it was actually in case of winning games of comp was impossible. Their matchmaking system was broken. You were getting into games and completely getting fucked because of it. It's what's happening again.
How are you?
Hi.
Welcome to the armory. What tactics will the teams come up with this round?
And in all honesty, I will do a couple games next season of comp. But I can tell you now, if those comp games end up going the exact same way, I am boycotting comp for the year. Well, for the season. And I will continue to do that until Overwatch does change comp. And yes, I am one person, I'm not going to give a shit if one person wants to change comp. But at the same person, if everyone's like, oh, hold on, why the fuck is comp fucking me over? And then starts boycotting comp, Blizzard are starting to give a shit, because, believe it or not, most people, when they think Overwatch, they think competitive. When I think I want to play a few games of Overwatch and have a, spend a few games playing against mates and all that, and having a team and all that, I think comp. What I don't think is, I want to play comp, get completely taken all the way down from almost near gold, because I was close into gold and I was bronze, then suddenly get fucked over. Next season better be fucking different, because this season comp has been terrible. Now, I could be wrong, and I could just have really be suffering this season. Or it could just be the case of the last few games, I've been going, although trying hard, I could have just been back, and I could have just been off my game. Either way, I don't really want to deal with it. Depending on how long this game lasts, I might jump into a quick limited duel. But I can probably say this now, what probably will end up happening is, I potentially might end up having a couple of stadium games here and there. But then again, I'm not the biggest fan of stadium, because games do feel like they go on forever at points. The reason I prefer comp over the competitive side of stadium is, one, I have access to everyone I want. Two, I don't have to think, oh, what can this, Reaper do? And I don't have to know every freaking sleeve. If I see a Reaper in normal comp, I can go, okay, so I've got... Okay, so Triple trying to sneak into Death Blossom, and he's got Fade, he could have Fade and Teleport. That's about it. Plus the odd little abilities he does have. But other than that, that's their minimum. In Stadium, it's like, okay, there's like 4 different kits, which one is he using, and what combination of kits is he using? Which does just become annoying. But again, I would 100% take that over what comp is at the minute. Shit then. Jeez. And if anyone does just think I'm being dramatic, I'm taking it out of proportion, or I'm ignored and I'm having no problem.
There'll be consequences for that.
Good for you. Because God, believe it or not, last time I felt like I was getting punished for playing comp, my mates weren't. I had 3 different people who were still doing okay. To be fair, that's it, death weapon. But again, the reason I'm a big fan of Stadium is just jumping down to the cage. I've said it before, I'll say it again. The games do seem like they take ages. If both teams win 3, then you've got the 7th match. But those games could take 5 to 10 minutes. It all does depend.
Score 1-0.
Do I honestly just wish it was out of 5 for both? Yes.
Next up,
It'd be so much nicer.
it's time for Clash.
So push class and no control. Right, that's nice to know. But a nice thing about Stadium is if you don't... Most people will generally have a map that they generally prefer.
Consult their playbooks.
And... What Stadium does allow you to do is basically 1, find a map that you like. 2, learn what game mode you like. For me, I don't think it's still on the game anymore, but there was this old sort of Japanese style map that was really cool. That was basically a capture A, capture B, and I think you can still play it in.
20 seconds
I think I have somewhat played it recently when playing classic Overwatch. To me, like, that was one of my favourites. Modern Overwatch, I don't know if I have a favourite map.
objective B. The objective
Big, see, I honestly don't know. There are a load of elimination-based maps, or like quick, or arcade game mode-based maps that I do overall like. So I'll say that I call this definitely cool. Nice little cheeky blade to fall over with. But yeah, I wouldn't really say it to I think Halo map's probably my favourite type of map. They're generally quick and decent. And they don't have any feel too long. Plus they give you nice objectives. And it's not just a case of, oh, this team's now at this point, tough luck. But that same Halo kind of just feels like the pop-out answer, because it's like, well, I'm pretty sure everyone loves Halo maps. But the one thing I would change, if they haven't already, is if the enemy team, or if one team is winning, by like 2 or 3 points, and you can somewhat predict that they're going to win the next game, call it that.
Finally, a decent scrap.
Because at that point it's a 50-50. And if the enemy team in that case has basically not been doing the opposite, it's like if the team on the losing end of that is just doing terrible, then it's a fair judgment. Because at that point it's like, okay, so what's the likelihood? Well, the last 3 maps, Team A has basically had full control over them. But Team B hasn't, and they've basically been countered at every point.
Time for the teams to gear up.
And at that point, it was like, okay, fair enough. I honestly did not know people still had still wore the Vengeance Mercy skin. Personally, if I was going to wear either, I would just wear the new one. Because something I like about the Mythics is almost all of them, because it's not all of them, because there's Anna's and Mercy's original ones, and Widows and Ashes. If I remember them correctly. No, debatable. Well, I think Widows and Ashes and Handers are probably debatable. That don't 100%, you can't 100% look at, you can 100% just take the base skin, remove anything that basically, you know, just essentially lay out the costume, and be like, okay, whose is this? In like a black and white image.
3, 2, 1. Capture the objective.
Because for instance, if you take Mercy's Vengeance, you'd presume potentially some support, but I'm not including weapons because weapons are generally a big giveaway. But you'd probably presume, you know, Moira, Baptiste, maybe. You might presume Mercy, but I personally don't necessarily think Mercy would be on top of that list. But yeah, like, there are just a few that I do personally think that don't 100%. You look at that, if you look at the base skin with everything else sort of scratched out,
There's a test subject.
like skin color, you know, cybernetics, all that lot, anything along those lines, and just have it as like a black and white thing, as essentially a dummy. There are a few that I do think you honestly wouldn't be able to guess who they are, who's is who's. But that's not the worst thing in the world. Like, granted, I wouldn't necessarily think I'd instantly go to War God, A7000 for Anna. I think I probably would go Echo, because my mind would be like, that doesn't seem like a more bulkier thing, so I'm not going to presume Arista. It looks a bit more feminine, so I'm not going to presume Bastion. So I would generally go something like Echo, Moira, or something like, say, Genji. Now, this is probably one of the only times I can think that the enemy team has managed to capture point and keep a good control of point. But 1 out of 3 isn't really great odds. Especially not when we manage to recapture and get it back and still keep control. So, yeah, again, I see personally for me the Mythics should basically take a look at that person, at that character. Mercy's from last season, Anna's from this season, May's from last season as soldiers, and I'm not going to do soldiers because it doesn't 100. I don't 100% look at soldiers. I like the skin, I just don't 100% look at it and be like that. Soldier 76.
We've got a replay to watch.
I would probably go more things like Emery. I'd be like, oh, he got a mythic really early. But there are a few soldier skins that are similar to that, which I will briefly go over. And then I think I'm just going to chuck a quick limited dueling, which means stream will probably be shorter than normal, but I'm not chucking another game of compen. And loot boxes. I don't think I'm doing another load here for a while. I think it's still like another 5. 7. I'd say 17. But yes, guys, the hero trailers for the end of the line, which I will say now, I look at that base alone and I see more anime. I think more anime than anything. First time I do see it will be Thursday when I react to it, and then the video will be up Saturday. But yeah, going over the mythics from the beginning. Genji's, I will say no, does definitely look like Genji's. Few I am going to quickly chuck into the mix because they either come back next season or in a couple season time. May's, I do definitely look and see May. Like, I look at that and I do definitely see May. Same for Mercy's. Doomfist, not so much. I don't really get the magma type aspect of it. Divine Desperado, kind of see Cassie in that. Not 100%. He is kind of like a cowboy inspired thing, so it's kind of not completely, but I still think it's a really cool one. Genji's the Cyber Demon, yes. There's some demon aspects into it, and it's more cybernetic, so yes, I do 100% think it fits him. Zeus for Junker Queen, yes. Not like 100%, but like 90-something% I do think fits. Same for Amistria for Kiriko, and Galactic Empire for Sigma. Some of my favourite skins they are. So the very simplistic reason of, I think Galactic Empire for Sigma fits perfectly. You look at Sigma and you can kind of get Galactic Empire feels on it. And it's not the only Empire or Empress skin that here. Ash also has a Calamity Emperor skin. Adventure for Tracer, yeah, I think it fits perfectly. His speed-based powers and everything, it makes it look more like an adventurer. A7,000 Wargord, no. Unfortunately, no. I see more things like more robotics than human. It doesn't really look like Anna. It just kind of feels like they picked a name out of a hat and it's like, oh, Anna, but we're doing a machine theme season. And I would turn Anna into an Omnic. It's been a while since I've seen Handlers, but I will change my mind. I do definitely think that suits them. Same for Orisa. Grand Beast does definitely suit her. Same for Agent Cooler. Vengeance for Mercy, not 100%. It looks way too war, way too vengeance. And Mercy is a lot more nicer. It fits the season, doesn't fit her personality or overall. Calamity Empress. I wouldn't be against getting a new Ash skin or Widow. But, yeah, I think hers and Widow's are very much debatable. And Nubus. Also, guys, you can really tell when they basically started doing weapons. Reinhardt's was the first, and that didn't come out until season 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, until season 12 with Reaper. No, season 11 with Ash. Reaper's Anubis, yes. for most reasons of Reaper does more look like a demonic devil. I think it suits perfectly. Especially when you can compare it into its base skin. Would you compare it like that? Yeah, I 100% think it suits him perfectly. I wish I had more customization options, but yeah. Already covered Widows, but again, I don't 100% hate the skin. I just, one, would like a different gun for it because I don't think the rifle looks as cool. Two, I would be a lot more, I would 100% be fine. Because Widow to me comes off from the case of deadly, looks not like, looks like, looks like a pillow, in reality, a grenade sort of thing. Looks harmless, but in reality will shoot you out 50, will shoot you straight in the head with one shot. This more seems spellcaster theme, which 100% would have suited Mercy more. Swap out the gun for a staff, and that you've got a whole witch-inspired outfit. Moira. Reinhardt, Thor whole thing. If they are just going based off the hammer, yeah, I don't think it doesn't suit him. Again, I don't think it doesn't suit him, and it does definitely seem cool. And I do definitely get more Norse gods from Reinhardt, so I'll give him a pass for that. Pixel for Zen.
Amid punishment, we will find prosperity.
Yeah, it suits him. It looks more of a peaceful based skin, and it definitely suits him. Same for Heart of Hope for for Juno.
One magical step at a time.
It looks cool, it looks badass, and I was very much surprised that Juno got a mythic so soon after her release. She'd only been in the game since Reinhardt's Zen's. She was still roughly relatively, I think it was Zen's. Maybe Reinhardt's, but she was still relatively new to the game. Divas, as one of the last Overwatch 2s, they nailed Divas.
Game on!
Divas looks cool as anything. But yeah, Divas looks cool as anything. And it does definitely suit her more badassery. And it does definitely suit her more and that's like region that where she's from. But overall, yeah, it suits her. Ultraviolet Sensory. Now, this isn't 100% complete order because, again, Cyberfuel and Divine Druid. But yeah, Ultraviolet suits her.
All of us.
Annoyingly, because I'm not the biggest fan of Sojourn, again, she should not have command when she said fuck you to Overwatch originally. She chose to willingly let him shut down. She shouldn't have a command back. It does suit her. It's annoying, but it suits her. Down to the core. Divine Druid. Why definitely a more of a weaker mythic. It does suit Life Weaver, even though I don't like Life Weaver. It suits him. Cyber Fuel 100% suits Junkrat. Like, that suits Junkrat so much. The more chaotic side of it just fits him. Soldier 76.
Charge soldiers now.
Partially, yes. I do see more of a war veteran modernized, yes, but not 100%. I would partially see a new character, but I don't like from this design. But I can also see Emery being done for this mythic. And then the two that I did not cover 100% was actually no, I covered Mercy's other. Anna's second one. Yes, this fits her. We don't need any more mythics from Anna. Now, am I 100% via load into... you know what? We'll do some Overwatch Classic. Do I 100% think it fits her down to the core? Yes. Most of the mythics I do think, when you look at them, you do see the characters. But there are just a few that I do think you can very much debate. 87,000 Wargod, Vengeance are two that instantly come to mind. Blizzard World, actually saying that, Blizzard World 100% is probably my favourite map. It's a map I love playing. The only thing I don't like about Classic Overwatch is, and I 100% do get it, is you don't have access to your old skins. Which I get. What are my hours like on time played? Yeah, that's fine. I get it. It's not exactly fair to turn around and be like, "Hey, this is Overwatch Classic, and but we've got new skins." I would personally like it. I 100% would. And if Overwatch Classic is still in, when I go to film, when I go to film my reaction to the hero trailer plus gameplay, because that's what it will be, I will chuck a couple games of Classic in. But it all depends. I think it might be because it's been in the last few weeks. I would 100% love Overwatch Classic, stay Overwatch Classic, and be really cool if you got to pick the era of Classic you want to go to. Nah, guys, what I'm going to say now is, has this been... Has this been my favourite season of Overwatch since... Well... Has this season basically been that good of a season? Yes and no. Comp, no. Everything else, it's still been a really cool season. It's just comp that I think has sucked. And if you only care about comp, then yes. If you only watch my Overwatch content because you want to see me play comp, not going to apologise for you avoiding it for a little while. I wouldn't be 100% against them basically resetting it next week. Now, as for Season 3, I have no idea what they're going to do. Like, I'm completely in the blind. Would I love to have an insight into what happens behind the scenes for Overwatch? Yes. But I don't. Dragon Ball, you're not getting the point. But yeah, like Overwatch Classic was definitely good for what it was. Now, was the classic days of Overwatch as good as one I've made it out to be, as probably a lot of other content creators who play Overwatch have? No. It had its flaws, it really did. The whole level system was a toxic thing at points. But I will say now, needing to get to the level, because I still remember this, needing to get to level 25 to play comp definitely showed me what definitely prepared me. There was no going half baked. I think now you just have to win like 10, 15 games. I don't know because again it's not something I've had to redo. Now, why I do technically have the option to check, I really don't want to. Because by the option to check, I can check on another account. I could log on to... Because, something I've never really mentioned, I still have my old Xbox One. Because it was really cool. Plus, it's the old classic days. Plus, I'm one of those games that do like that does everything now and then of you know, play on older systems, play older games. Guys, a lot of games I do play in general, is gear-wise, are all Pokemon games. Like very bad example of this, but a game, my most recent game I've spent a lot of time playing is Pokemon Sword. A game that came out in 2019. Now, before that was Legends, I was, you know, playing through Legends EA. And by that I mean completing the DLC because I hadn't done before that. But before that, a game I was playing was Omega Ruby. So... Although, well, I replayed for Pokemon games, I've replayed for a lot recently. Because Christmas area there was Legends of DA. Then there was then I replayed through, Pokemon Violet on the Twitch too, to see if it was as good as it. To see if it on the Switch 2 was actually an improvement, and it is. Then there was Omega Ruby, because I was like, I really want to replay through Omega era, but I didn't want to replay through X and Y, because it's like, but Legends EA. Will I ever replay through X and Y? 100%. Like, X and Y are probably some of my favorite games. Then it was Sword and Shield. Technically, in between that, there was me going re-back through, but from the beginning to the end. I'm still playing through Sword and Shield. After that, it probably will be Sun when I play through and using Violet, because it's the only Alolan starter I've not played through those games with. But that probably won't be for like another like 3-4 weeks. Like that's probably July at the earliest. Then there's a potential chance I might end up replaying through X and Y. So like guys, from the start, there's about X and Y, X and Y Aurus are probably the only Pokemon games that I do replay through every year. Yes, I will go back to things like Pokemon
I've got you in my
Scarlet and Violet, and go back to Shiny Hunting on them. But the game I probably will go to is but I also do still have I think it's Black and Black 2. Yeah, so Black version and Black 2, I still have to play through. Ultra Moon and Ultra Moon, Diamond, and I honestly can't think of any others. Oh, and Soul Silver. Because guys, not the Christmas that's just gone, but the Christmas beforehand, I was able to, luckily because of, don't really want to go into this, but luckily because of a situation that came up, I was able to get Diamond Pearl. I'd already picked up Platinum, I think that year. Diamond Pearl, Black and White 2, and Golden, Part Gold, Soul Silver. Luckily. And they were some of the best choices ever made. So I do now own every Pokemon game from Diamond and Pearl all the way up to modern day, up to Legends EA. We'll do Ash. And Cassidy. But, yeah, because, the Pokemon games I do now own, there's Pokemon Crystal on one of my DS's. Because I was also lucky enough to pick up a modded DS last year from a seller on TikTok. I can't fully remember who it was. Overall, a really good DS, and I've loved using it. But there is Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Crystal, Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Black and White, and Black and White 2, X and Y, and Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, and a third copy of Alpha Sapphire. Because I wanted to play through using Swampert, and because I wanted to have a save file of all three. So if I ever do want to replay through using Blaziken, I've got a version of Omega Ruby. Play through using Sceptile, I've got a version of Alpha Sapphire. Play through using Swampert, I've got a version of Omega Ruby. I do at some point want to pick up Omega Ruby or Alpha Sapphire to then use a Psychic team. And the reason I don't just reset one of those is I kind of like having the option. Plus, Auras really aren't that expensive to buy. Then there's the Sun, Moon, and Ultra Moon games. Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, Sword and Shield plus their DLCs for both. And Scarlet and Violet plus DLCs for both. I needed to get both DLCs for that just to complete the Pokedex, which was worth it. And I still never completed the Scarlet DLC because, again, I didn't need to. It was replaying through Pokemon games when they've got DLCs is something that I don't really do because it's like, well, I'm only here to basically play through the main game. Which is why I've set myself a challenge when replaying through Sword. I have to replay through both DLCs. Now, I've done the the Isle of Armor DLC because you get access to Gigantamax about halfway through, just before you get access to a Squirtle or Bulbasaur that can G-Max. Yeah. But then if you go and do a couple more missions, you then get a Cubfu that can evolve into Urshifu. And at level 30, you can take it around one of the towers, and then that's that DLC done. And Legends EA. I would go back further, but I don't have the systems. The only reason I've got a version of Crystal is because I bought it when the 3DS store was still up. Oh, and then there's Fire Red, Leaf Green. More specifically, just Fire Red on Switch, because I haven't picked Leaf Green up yet. But I'd love for them to bring Emerald out too, plus Ruby and Sapphire. Because I would, 100%. That's where like Ash King comes from. I was like, where the hell did that asking come from? Bat pass. But yeah, guys, stream was slightly earlier than normal because, quite frankly, I do actually need to go and film Monster Hunter for Thursday after this. Because it will be the birthday episode. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching this. Tiger, sign off, and I'll see you next time. Bye.